Hi, welcome to my channel Look 10 Years Younger, where I review various anti-aging devices and treatments and supplements to let you know what works and what doesn't. So a lot of the devices I've reviewed on my channel are for skin tightening, such as radiofrequency, but the other major cause of aging is when you lose volume on your face, and that can be because we have fat loss as we get older, and we also have less bone density. So those two factors can make us look a lot older, with hollowing in the cheeks and especially in the temples as well. So today I've come to Rachel, who is running aesthetic nursing services here in High Wycombe. Oh, actually in the mirror behind, I can see you.
Oh God!
So you wanted to escape. So yeah, so I'm going to have Revanesse Contour, which is a new filler. And Revanesse is basically a different type of filler because the particles of hyaluronic acid, instead of being jagged and kind of rectangular, they're spheres, they're round. So that means, according to the company, that your body breaks it down more slowly, so the filler should last longer wherever you have it placed. And secondly, there's less chance of having a reaction just because of the shape of those particles. So we're going to try this today on my temples. So you may say, why would you need filler on your temples? So if you think about the volume loss that you get here, if you can replace that, then your skin is basically kind of resting on a scaffolding of this volume, whether it's bone or fat. So if you replace the volume here, then it should lift the cheek, the eyebrow, you know, the corners of your eyes. So it should give you kind of a mini face lift look. So that's what I'm going for today. And also we're going to do a little bit of replacing volume in my lips and a little bit just here and here, which is where we have a fat pad, which as you age it tends to fall forward. So just replacing a bit of volume there. So I've got like an anaesthetic cream on my lips before I have the injection in my lips, and now Rachel's just cleaning the area around my temples. Can still speak even though I've got numb lips. So while researching this temple procedure, one thing that I have seen again and again is that you shouldn't tense your jaw, because your jaw is linked to this muscle here, so you've got to keep your jaw really relaxed for it to be more comfortable.
Amount on both sides.
Happy. It's not something I'd want to go through regularly, but it's not like really dreadfully painful as well. So these 0.6 on both sides. Yeah. Okay. So these are the little areas, like the little kind of indentations where the fat pads have kind of separated and gone forwards. So there's kind of a little dip that kind of.
When you smile, you get a break, don't you? So smile for me.
So this is to replace volume, but it's also to kind of support the skin. So when I smile, I don't get
give you a little bit
big lines.
A lift as well.
Or lift, okay, that's good. Part of the conversation that I didn't want to speak about before we did the temples was that there's loads of really essential blood vessels around this area, and it's really dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Then
so when I was doing this, I can feel your superficial temporal artery pulsating under my finger here.
Right.
So it's right back at the hairline. Okay, I can feel it there pulsing. Yeah. So that's why I inject here.
Okay.
So I sort of do from this temporal fusion line and the orbit here, kind of one down, one across. Try to avoid any blood vessels. Check the pulse. Check that you touch bone before you inject anything. Aspirate for 10 seconds, so it's a nice long aspiration, just to check there's nothing comes back into the syringe. So do all these types of things just to avoid mainly this superficial temporal artery, but there is a deep temporal artery as well.
So this is why you need someone who knows what they're doing, and you don't want to go to a beauty salon or use somebody's vouchers, you know, that give you 2 lots of filler for £100 or something.
So this superficial temporal artery will come across here, and it will join up with an artery that comes down here called the supratrochlear artery.
Oh, like that feeds your eye.
That goes to the back of your eye. So it's very important that you avoid this superficial temporal artery.
Right, okay.
Obviously. Which we've done.
But all that, it's really essential to have that conversation with the person doing the injecting beforehand. Because when you research, you know, temporal filler, it's pretty scary. Some of the stuff that can happen, like blindness and all kinds of complications. So definitely talk about it, but maybe don't talk about it just before you have the injection, because that freaks you out a bit. That's why I didn't want to talk about that until after it's done. But
okay, so I think that's like leveled out your cheekbones as well. So this side looks more like that side now. And it's certainly taken off. You had a bit of hollowness here, and it's helped on this side as well, I think.
oh yeah, I can see. So it's kind of given me more of a youthful face shape. So this is filled in, and the kind of smaller marks there filled in, and also when I smile, I can see that there are less lines because the skin is kind of supported. Symmetry doesn't bother me that much, you know. Some people, they strive to have everything.
Yeah, nobody's.
Jennifer Aniston and Kate Moss, and there's some other people I can't think of now who have perfectly symmetrical faces, have been super successful. So we do respond differently to perfect symmetry, but for me I wouldn't really strive for that, because the differences and the imperfections are what makes us who we are. And the other thing, even about having this filler, if you want to have filler to make yourself feel more confident, then definitely do it. I'm doing this today to kind of, like, you know, erase some wrinkles and get a bit of volume, but I'm not saying anyone needs to go and do it. You know, do what you want to do, you know. So now we're going to do lips. So if you look at images of me when I was, I don't know, 25, my lips were like double what they are now. So it's another area where you lose volume, which would be fat, I guess. Is it fat in your lips? It must be.
And also to do with your teeth and things like that.
Oh yeah, because your bone density affects your teeth as well, so your lips kind of disappear with age.
Down a little bit flatter. What?
Before I collapse.
No!
Okay, so we're done. So the lips were definitely the most uncomfortable part. So is a little bit painful. Even though they were numbed, you can still kind of feel the needle going in. And Rachel also did this area under here, because my mouth has got kind of a downturn at each side, so she kind of tried to pump up the edge. You can see how those smile lines have drastically been reduced on both sides of my cheeks. And this image shows how the volume replacement gives a general rejuvenated effect. I look fresher, less tired and very slightly lifted, but the volume in the lips really softens my whole face and expression. So this is me 3 days after having the procedure. So regards to Revanesse claiming that these spherical particles in hyaluronic acid won't cause swelling, in my case that's definitely true. I had no swelling in the temples or in the cheeks, nothing at all. So lips are always going to have some swelling, because, you know, you're sticking a needle into your lips. It's good, you know, there's going to be swelling because it's so sensitive. But yeah, the one thing I did wrong is that after I had the procedure, I went home directly and I laid on the bed just for 5 minutes, and I laid on my left hand side, and that pressure started to aggravate the you know, this area, and it started to hurt a little bit, not hugely, but it kind of, because it's linked to your jaw, it was painful when I was trying to eat for that whole evening. So if you have this treatment, I probably advise you to have it in the morning, so you've got the whole day to recover, and then you can go to bed normally and lay on your side and it won't affect you. They also say you should not go to the gym for 48 hours afterwards. I guess that's because you've got pulse points in your temple and you don't want to aggravate it. So yeah, for me, this has been successful. Temple filler is a great way to kind of rejuvenate your face and kind of pump up and cushion those areas that have lost facial volume. So if you've had Revanesse or any kind of volume replacement, please let me know. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll see you in my next video.